Good morning. Good morning. So good to see all your faces. Yes, indeed. Okay, so welcome to week 5 of our 7-week series, The 7 Gifts That Give You Everything, inspired by Derek Rydell's book, The Abundance Project. And so far, our focus has been on how we can express more of ourselves into life, how we can give more to others, how we can give more to life. We have untangled the knots in our consciousness that may have been blocking the natural flow of good in our lives. We have aligned ourselves with that next vision, that next level of growth and evolution that is seeking to express as us, in order that we may bring more to life, in order that we can bring the full measure of our love. And this is good, right? This is the exhale part of the breathing equation. But there's somebody who really needs your gift, who really needs your love. Who is that? You. You. Giving to yourself. I know, absolutely, right? That is the inhale part of the breathing equation. We need both, don't we? You need to have breath in order to exhale. And it brings to mind that popular analogy of the flight attendant when she's talking to the cabin, put your oxygen mask on first before you help others. And it's popular because it says everything, doesn't it? You can't give what you don't have. And you know what happens when we try to do that, right? We head for burnout. We begin to resent others and what we're doing, and then we have even less to give. So self-care, self-love. And I know that this is a difficult thing for some spiritually focused people to do because, particularly those who are by their very nature are just service-oriented, by their very nature are loving and giving. Taking care of yourself, self-care, is not always at the top of your to-do list. It's usually way down here, right at the bottom of your to-do list. So we want to take a look at that. And, yes, we do need to give. Yes, we do need to share. Yes, we do need to show up fully in life. But we must include ourselves in that giving. We must include ourselves in that love. As the Buddha reportedly said, and I think we have a slide here, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and attention. Take that in for a moment. Do you really believe that you deserve your love and attention? Do you? And if you did feel that you deserved your love and attention, how would you show that to yourself? And I want you to think about being specific, not a general, well, I would take better care of myself. Just specifically, like in what ways would I nurture my spirit? In what ways would I do those things that I love that, fill my heart with joy without guilt? That's key, isn't it? I know, and I have carved out some time to just play. I'm like, shouldn't I be doing something? Shouldn't I be working? Shouldn't I be doing something? Yeah, I see some nods of recognition there. I thought so. Yeah, so we want to shift our perspective around this and begin to see it as sacred time and see it as the art of self-care. That we are participating in the sacred art of self-care, to really view it that way. So, most of us have been taught, or we've come to the conclusion that self-care is selfish. And if you have any shadows around neediness or greediness or selfishness, when you participate in self-care, that can get triggered and you could head in the extreme opposite direction. So we want to be aware of that, right? We want to really notice what's going on there. In fact, self-care is not selfish. It is actually our spiritual responsibility. It's our spiritual responsibility because that's how we honor the divine presence that is expressing in a beautiful and unique way as each one of us. That's how we take care of the physical, mental, and emotional vessel for divine life, that divine life is expressing as. It's not unlike a musician would take care of an instrument, right? I would imagine a flutist, or is it flautist? Flutist? Flutist? Flautist? Flutist? You say flautist, I say flutist, flautist, flutist. Anyway, however we say it, you take care of it, right? You clean it. Roshan is a flute player back there. You clean it on the inside, right, particularly, and out. Maybe you oil the keys or something. No oil. No oil. No. You clean it inside and out. You for sure put it in a nice safe box, right? So that when you pick it up to play it, that breath flows through unimpeded. It's the same with a pianist, right? You take care of the piano. You tune the piano. And have you ever been present when a piano is being tuned? It is quite the process. There's somebody that comes in here to tune this, and it's like a 2-hour process. And he's hitting every note and every chord, and I don't know what he's strengthening or shortening or lengthening. I don't know, but making sure it's conditioned, and he talks about the humidity of the room and how that changes. Really taking care of it, so then when Chris Whiteneck comes and puts his fingers on those keys to play those magnificent chords, it comes out as it should, right? We take care. A good musician shows reverence for their instrument. And so we want to think about taking care of that instrument that divine life breathes through, expresses as. The art of showing reverence to this divine presence. That's how we want to think about it. So the poet and activist Audre Lorde, who spent a lot of time fighting for feminist rights and social activism, said, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgent, it is self-preservation." So we want to think of it as self-preservation. And from a spiritual perspective, we could say soul preservation. It's soul preservation. Caring for the soul. Remember that book, The Care of the Soul? It's like, yeah, Thomas More, right? Yeah, classic. It's still a classic. Caring for the soul. Now, part of this is also remembering the first principle that Derek Rydell talks in the book, which is that everything, anything and everything you could possibly want or need is already within you. So rather than looking outside of ourselves for our good, we want to make a way through which the imprisoned splendor may escape, which was Robert Browning, to paraphrase Browning. Make a way that imprisoned splendor may escape, may express. We're expressions of the whole of life. the fullness of the divine. So what is true of God is true of us. If God is love, joy, happiness, fulfillment, peace, well-being, abundance, harmony, wisdom, that's who we are. That's who we are. It's within, it's not out there, right? It's not something that we need someone else to give to us. We simply need to turn within, nurture those qualities, and allow it to pour forth from us. So if we're looking to someone else to give us love, or to provide security, or to make us happy, like every single love song that has ever been written from the beginning of time tells us to do, right? We're looking in the wrong place. Those songs have steered us wrong. They've steered us wrong. It's not out there. It is in here. It is in here. So when we love ourselves enough, when we nurture ourselves enough, it pours forth from us, from the overflow. It's from the overflow, right? Which is, something we want to think about. You've probably heard that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty cup. Well, we can take that one step further and say, don't just pour from your cup, pour from the overflow. Pour from the overflow, which is Rumi. If you'll bring up the next slide, Rumi said this: never give from the depths of your well, but from your overflow. Never give from the depths of your well, but from your overflow. When your own cup is filled and overflowing, it spills out love into the world. And then the world mirrors that back to you, because that's your energetic level. You're attracting those who also have full cups and spill out over to you. So rather than coming into a relationship with an empty cup, looking for somebody else to fill it, you're coming together with a full cup that's overflowing for the other person and for that person to you. And you come together and it multiplies. And it just radiates out into the world. Is this making sense? You see? Yeah. Okay. So that's the love song we want to write. Right? That's the love song we want to hear. All right, so let's look at some of the aspects of self-care. Not all of them, just, the three we're going to talk about today. The first one is caring for the body. So we could think of our body as the living temple of spirit in this physical dimension. The living temple of spirit in this physical dimension. So we want to honor that divine presence, that living temple, by feeding it healthy, whole food. And honestly, the more I hear about ultra-processed food, does everybody else be hearing about ultra-processed food, which seems to be the staple of an American diet? And if you go into any grocery store, the vast majority of things on all the shelves are these ultra-processed, which basically packaged, very processed food. And they are strategically placed and marketed that way, so you'll see them and it's attractive and you buy it, right? It's designed that way. And have you noticed the produce section in stores is shrinking? Because that doesn't have the same profit margin as the other ones. So don't be fooled. Grocery stores are not there to nourish your body. They're there to make maximum profit, right? As my daughter would say, that's capitalism at its finest. Yeah, but ultimately, we make the choice, right? We make the choice about what to buy. We make the choice about what to put into our bodies. So let's think about nourishing that living temple. Yeah, I mean, occasionally we want to have something that's really a treat, really a delight, absolutely. But for the most part, think about nourishing. You're nourishing this living temple. Okay, and then the next part of this is movement. Movement, movement. Everybody put your arms up in the air. Movement, movement. We want to move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. Yeah, we're moving it. And we want to find movement that we love, that we enjoy, so we'll stick with it. Maybe it's dancing, maybe it's swimming, maybe it's playing pickleball, maybe it's disc golf. Remember that was a fad for a while. Does anybody play disc golf anymore? Yes? Yeah? Oh, yeah. Okay. Fun, right? You got to find what's fun for you. Zumba. Where is Oscar? I saw Oscar earlier. Oscar teaches Zumba class. And I've been wanting to get a group of us together to go to his Saturday class in the Carborough Farmers Market and do the Zumba together. So again, yeah, okay, you're with me. Let's do it. Let's find things that we can do to move our body in a fun way. All right, and then lastly, part of this is rest. I'm working on this one. I'm working on it. Anybody got tips? I got it. I need it here. I've been hearing a lot about good sleep hygiene. People are saying about good sleep hygiene, right? Practice good sleep hygiene. It makes a world of difference, right? When you've had a really good night's sleep. So those three things, we want to think about ways that we are taking care of and honoring this instrument, this vessel. Okay, and then the next thing is caring for the mind. This is exercising our brain, our analytical brain, and our creative brain, exercising it, because honestly, between social media scrolling and streaming services and the increasing reliance on AI to get our work done for us, our brains are turning to mush. They're turning to mush. So we need to exercise the brain. How do we do that? Right? How do we do it? How do you do it? You tell me, how do you do it? You read. Puzzles, crossword puzzles, yeah. Learn music. Oh, yeah. Learn music. Learn a different language. What, Ellen?
A language.
Yeah, learn a language, yeah.
Do something that's outside your common abilities.
Oh.
You've never done before.
Yeah, okay.
It causes your brain
Right.
to create
New dendrites, yeah. New connections when we do something new that we haven't done before. Even taking a different route to where you normally go. It just makes you're off autopilot and you're actually thinking now. And creativity, right? To exercise their creative muscles. A lot of people do mandalas, right? Creating a mandala or drawing or, again, dancing, singing. We want to exercise. Anybody else? Creativity. Yeah, that's really important. And last but not least, it's caring for our spirit, right? Caring for our spirit. Even Jesus practiced sacred self-care. As the story goes, when word of his healing ability spread, he's healing lepers, he's making blind men see, that begins to travel, and people are coming from all over. Wouldn't you? Come out of the woodwork and go, heal me, heal me, heal me. Well, he knew that he would have to step back and nurture himself if he was to do that really important work, if he could do that. So it says in Luke 5:16, when they're talking about this, However, he continued his habit of retiring to deserted places and praying. Continued his habit of retiring to deserted places and praying. So he withdrew, not because he wasn't willing to serve, but because he knew he had to reconnect with that divine source to remain in that higher level of consciousness, that healing consciousness, in order to do this work. So, practicing self-care is not retreating from service. If we're doing it right, it's preparing for sacred service. It is preparing for sacred service. Now, another part of this nurturing our spirit is having fun, right? Having fun, laughing, playing. You know, all animals play, right? All animals play. And I saw this video this week, and I have been laughing ever since, and I have to share it with you. So if we can get it to play on the theme of all animals play. Watch these guys. Is that it? I don't want to watch it again. Yeah. Actually, there's a few of these. Do you type in bears on a play set? There's a few people have got this. All animals play. And we human animals need to exercise that play. So if I could have the handouts, please. And while the handouts are coming out, now this you're going to add to your whole pile of handouts every week. For the last 5 weeks, we have given you a handout. If you have missed the folder that gets stored in, please raise your hand, and one of the greeters will give you a folder so you can, somewhere for these handouts to live, so that, they don't go everywhere, and you can kind of keep track of it, and it becomes, a whole thing. So, yeah, take one and pass it down. Take one and pass it down. And how's it going with these handouts? Some people doing it, yeah? The homework assignments, how's the decluttering going? Decluttering. Oh, Barnsley sent me a list of several different resources of places you can take. Once you've done the decluttering, several different places. Yeah, there's plenty of places of people that will really appreciate anything that you're wanting to clear out of your closets or your garage or anything. So, and we'll post it too. I just saw it this morning. So, yeah. So each act of self-love strengthens our capacity to be radiant channels for the divine love in the world. Each act of self-love strengthens. So think about that. Every time we're practicing self-care, we're strengthening our capacity to be channels for divine love in the world. All right, we've got one last slide, which is the affirmation that we can say together. Let's take a deep breath. And from this place of fullness, we say together, I honor the divine within by caring for myself with love. And from the overflow, I radiate love into the world. So it is. Namaste.
Hi, it's Reverend Victoria here. I'm at Unity Center of Peace with our house band, Bright Matter.
Hello.
Yeah, and if this video has inspired you or empowered you or opened your heart, opened your consciousness, or even just given you hope, we ask that you support what we're doing here by making a donation today, going to unitychapelhill.org or clicking the link below. And we thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.